This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. I'm Meredith Jones.
I'm Bill Bryant. It's so good to have you with us here on your Monday, June 6th. Hope you had a nice weekend and you're ready to go in this brand new week.
That's right. Well, now at 6, it was a busy night for Lexington police as investigators believe multiple overnight crimes may be connected.
We're on top of that this morning. Also, a Lexington murder case will go to trial today. We'll tell you how long prosecutors expect it to last. And we have more details regarding Muhammad Ali's funeral. That is expected to be given out today as far as some new information. The legendary boxer's body is now back in the bluegrass.
And we're talking about a big front later on tonight. Today, still a little bit warm outside. It's a nice start to the day, though. You have no worries as you're walking out the door. 83 degrees by the afternoon, which is just above average, but we are going to drop that big time in the upcoming days. I'll show you a cooler than average temperature forecast coming up.
See you then, Micah. Thank you. Let's get right to the news. It was a busy night for Lexington police, and now we're learning more about these multiple robberies that happened and a chase that has ended in 3 arrests.
WKYT's Mike Byer has been gathering details about the crimes. He joins us live with the latest from police.
Good morning, Meredith. I'm here at the Shell on Man o' War near Nicholasville Road. Police say this was the 3rd stop for a suspected armed serial robber who led police on a chase through Fayette and Woodford counties. Now, here's how it went down. It all started at around 2 this morning. This is when police say an armed man wearing blue pants, a blue shirt, and a blue bandana robbed the Waffle House on Richmond Road. 30 minutes later, the Waffle House off Reading Road was also robbed. Police say witnesses there also described the gunman as wearing all blue. Then shortly after that, police were called to the Shell gas station on Man o' War near Nicholasville Road for another armed robbery. Once again, witnesses told police the gunman was dressed all in blue. From the Shell, police started following a car suspected in these robberies. Officers tell us the driver led them on a chase from Lexington to Versailles Road near the Bluegrass Parkway in Woodford County. That's where police arrested 3 people, including a man who was wearing the distinctive clothing seen during all 3 robberies. Now, the names of the 3 people have not been released. Police say there was also a young child in the car that they were chasing. We're told that child is safe and is with a relative. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, a lot of elements to this story, and we'll stay on top of it. Thank you, Mike. And new on WKYT this morning, crews are investigating a fire that has damaged a Danville restaurant this morning. Firefighters were on scene for several hours at the Mexican restaurant on Jane Trail near the bypass in US 127 in Danville. We don't know how the fire started. We're looking at this video just into our newsroom this morning. It's obvious that it is going to take some time before the business can reopen.
Jury selection begins this morning in a high-profile Lexington murder case. Mark Taylor is charged with murder and kidnapping in the 2013 death of Alex Johnson. Investigators say Johnson's body was found inside a barrel in the Kentucky River. Attorneys expect Taylor's trial to last 2 weeks. Prosecutors say Timothy Ballard, who was also charged in connection to Johnson's death, will not go to trial because he has accepted a plea deal. Well, a Southern Kentucky man charged in a double murder will face a judge this morning. The Laurel County Sheriff's Department says Bradley Lawson is accused of killing Donnie and Sharon Jackson last year. Lawson was already in jail for drug charges when deputies charged him. Investigators say the couple's bodies were found inside their burnt home last March. Both had been shot. Deputies think the motive behind the couple's murder was a robbery gone bad. Lawson is expected in court around 11 this morning.
Our time this morning coming up on 6:04 on WKYT. 2 bodies were discovered in 2 separate counties over the weekend, and now state police think those cases are connected.
The first was found on Saturday. A man's body was discovered under Slate Creek Bridge in Montgomery County. Police say Talmadge Branham and Carla Hunt have been arrested in connection to the man's death. They say Hunt and Branham were with 3 other men at a rental cabin in Wolfe County when one of those men was shot during a fight. Hunt and Branham are charged with tampering with evidence. Investigators say the 2 washed their blood out of the car to transport the victim's body from Wolfe County to Montgomery County.
Investigators found a second body at that cabin in Wolfe County. The victims' names have not been released as of now. So far, only Hunt and Branham have been charged.
Well, new this morning, state police are investigating 2 deaths in northern Kentucky. Investigators say 2 bodies were found on Quicks Run Road in the Lewis County. Troopers say 36-year-old Crystal Ball and 51-year-old Kevin Ball were both found dead in their Vanceburg home. Police say they are not looking for any suspects. Well, today prosecutors plan to announce whether charges will be filed against the parents of a little boy who fell into the gorilla exhibit at the Cincinnati Zoo last weekend.
A lot of strong opinions on this story certainly been expressed in recent days. Zoo workers ended up shooting and killing the 17-year-old gorilla, and that incident has sparked controversy nationwide. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us from our live desk with more and some fresh info. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Prosecutors are expected to announce whether the parents of that 3-year-old boy who climbed into the gorilla exhibit will be charged this afternoon. Their decision hinges on the question, did those parents act recklessly or carelessly? The gorilla exhibit reopens tomorrow. The fence that the boy climbed over when he was with his mother was 3 feet high. While that barrier met safety requirements, the zoo has built a new fence that is now 42 inches high. It is a rope netting at the bottom and wood beams up at the top. The boy who tumbled into the gorilla habitat 9 days ago is doing well. His parents, however, have been receiving death threats since Harambe, the rare 400-pound silverback gorilla that dragged the boy, was shot and killed. An online petition that is calling for the parents to be held accountable for the gorilla's death has been signed by more than 500,000 people. The Hamilton County prosecutor is expected to announce whether he will file any criminal charges against the parents at 1 o'clock. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. Well, more details on Muhammad Ali's funeral will be announced later this morning. We know it will be on Friday in Louisville. Kenneth Craig is at Ali's hometown with a look at how he's being remembered.
I am Muhammad Ali.
Children from the Louisville area celebrated Muhammad Ali's message of inclusion at an interfaith memorial service last night.
He's free now, but his spirit is with us, and it will stay with us for a long, long time.
All over Ali's hometown, mourners are remembering a man who stood for so much in and out of the boxing ring.
What really stands out to me is the amount of love and compassion and kindness that he instilled in people.
Evan Boquetto is the curator of the newly opened Muhammad Ali Childhood Home Museum inside the pale pink house where Ali grew up.
Thousands of people have come to pay their respect, to give tribute to their local hero and inspiration, Muhammad Ali.
Many more will take part in Ali's funeral service Friday. There will be a procession through the city, and the service itself will be open to the public, just as Ali wanted.
Former President Bill Clinton and comedian Billy Crystal are among the big names who will eulogize the man known as the greatest, alongside Ali's heartbroken family.
He was a loving, kind person, loved all people. He would help anybody if he could. He's a wonderful saint. He was a wonderful man.
Ali made his final trip home yesterday from Phoenix, Arizona, where he died Friday at 74 years old. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Ali died of septic shock, and he battled Parkinson's disease for more than 3 decades.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Such a good looking shot out there on the live sky camera. We're looking due east, and things look fantastic anywhere you go. Some of those valley locations east and southeastern Kentucky, that's where you're dealing with a little activity there with some of that fog. But other than that, hey, it looks good this morning as you're stepping out the door. So it looks good. How does it feel? Well, we're at 59 degrees in Boyle County, and that goes for Somerset down in Pulaski County. Work your way down into Monticello, Powersburg, Stearns, Whitley City, Williamsburg. Good morning to you guys down in Whitley County. We're looking just fine anywhere you go, really. Moorhead, 63, Lakeview Heights just south of that into the 60s. Maysville and Mason County at 59 degrees. And then we go through your day. So we'll start off in the upper 50s, lower 60s, and we'll finish off low to mid 80s. Yes, it's another warm one in store, and you're probably asking yourself, well, I've been hearing about this much cooler air this week. You're not going to feel it today. You actually go off into the night and into tomorrow. That's when you can expect maybe a passing shower, I would say during the evening and nighttime hours today and into the night, because a front's on its way. And that front will bring us much, much cooler conditions as a pattern slowly settles on in here. And when it does, it kind of sticks around for quite some time. It actually doesn't move out after one day. So that cool air tries to nudge its way southbound. The coolest air, obviously, is going to be just to the north of us. But still, when you're in the mid-70s this time of year, it's pretty nice. It's below average. So that cold front is tonight. And like I said, during the evening, if you're heading out to the ball fields or heading out to dinner, there is that possibility, especially north of I-64, to have a passing shower. But for the most part, we're going to stay dry. And then once that front moves on through tonight and into tomorrow, you'll not only feel the 70s, but also you're going to be feeling that humidity drop too, and that's key this time of year. Dry the next few days, possible 90 degrees there for the weekend. So we go down and then we rise right back up as we head towards your weekend. That is the way it's going to go as we travel off toward your Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And we're going to be looking at those temperatures really skyrocket in towards your weekend, and things will really get really warm, Meredith, as we go from the 70s to the 90s, and that's just the way it's going to go throughout the next 7 days. But the good news here is we don't deal with any of the nasty thunderstorms, nasty humidity, so that helps us out. There's some good news there.
Nice. That is, because it was pretty steamy, especially on Saturday with all the rain.
That's the truth.
All right. Well, thank you, Micah. Well, each morning we bring you the weather and traffic, so let's go ahead and check in and see how it's looking out there. Yeah, still pretty calm right now. Not too bad for 6:11 in the morning. I guess people haven't really hit the roads quite yet, but pretty clear.
We have no reports of any problems anywhere this morning. Should be a good summer-like morning out there for you to make your way on in. Weather not an element either this morning. Things are looking pretty good. So we'll keep you updated as we go through the morning, but so far so good on this early June day. Beautiful shot there downtown. And it's 6:11. A lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Monday morning.
That's right. A popular neighborhood outside of Los Angeles is being threatened by a large wildfire. We'll have an update on the efforts to extinguish those flames after the break. Hillary Clinton is closer to clinching the Democratic nomination for president. Clinton won big last night in Puerto Rico's primary and picked up more delegates Saturday from a victory in the U.S. Virgin Islands. 6 states will hold primaries and caucuses tomorrow, including California. And an official Union Pacific Railroad says track failure was likely the cause of the oil train derailment in Moser, Oregon over the weekend. Now, officials are still working to remove the crude oil from the damaged cars. Around 100 people, a quarter of the town's population, have been evacuated from their homes since Friday. Parts of Southern California are on fire. Now take a look at this blazing, burning in the area around Calabasas just outside of Los Angeles. Authorities say the fire has charred more than 500 acres and forced many evacuations. About 500 firefighters are working from the air and the ground trying to put the flames out. The area is home to several celebrities, including the Kardashians. The exact cause of the fire is not clear. And preparations are underway on Florida's Gulf Coast for the arrival of Tropical Storm Colin. The storm is predicted to hit today before heading to the Atlantic. Forecasters say Colin is likely to bring up to 8 inches of rain to western Florida and eastern Georgia and coastal areas along the Carolinas through Tuesday.
All right, tough time for those vacationing in that area. Coming up on 6:17 on WKYT, if you fly Delta Airlines, you're about to get an upgrade. The carrier will soon begin offering in-flight entertainment free of charge on equipped aircraft on domestic and international flights. Previously, Delta only offered a portion of its entertainment options for free on domestic flights. Delta said the free entertainment will start on July 1st on board about 90% of its planes. Movies, shows, music, and games will be available on seatback screens or through a passenger's personal mobile device through onboard Wi-Fi. Samsung is the first to announce their new wireless earbuds. The Gear Icon X doesn't attach to your phone or to each other. It comes in a carrying case, charges them when they're not in use. The earbuds cost $199 and they'll go on sale later this year. Be sure you keep up with each one. Car dealerships of the future may not have actual cars there. The Wall Street Journal is reporting Cadillac is wanting to set up virtual showrooms where buyers would learn about a car through a virtual reality headset. That could be the future. And there's a new plan to stop all of those annoying robocalls. Well-known New York Senator Schumer is introducing legislation that would require phone companies to offer a free service to block those robocalls from bill collectors and politicians. Some phone companies already offer that service. So there you go. A lot of people will probably want that as well.
Yeah, that would be nice to have. Well, thank you, Bill. WKYT This Morning is just getting started. You may want to get the tissues ready because a little girl's reaction to a gift from her parents is priceless.
Looking good this morning, but we do have a front on the way. We're going to see it dive on in here and bring us much cooler conditions. I'll have that coming up next.
And we're glad you logged. Welcome back in. 6:22. Here we are on your Monday.
Lexington police believe 3 overnight robberies may be connected.
And that's what is trending at this hour. A lot to figure out this morning, but they say 2 Waffle Houses were robbed at gunpoint along with a Shell station. All of this happening overnight. In each case, witnesses describe the suspect as wearing a blue bandana, a blue shirt, as well as blue pants.
Firefighters are investigating a fire that damaged a Danville restaurant overnight. It happened at a Mexican restaurant on Jane Trail near the bypass and US 127 in Danville. Crews say the cause of the fire has not been determined.
Well, we had some of that rain around these parts on Saturday. Yesterday, not so bad. Micah says this week looks good.
Really good. Here comes a front tonight. That won't really bring us any thunderstorms, only a small risk at a passing light shower during the evening and night, but this is the way you're starting out the day. The day looks really good. And once you get through your day, you're going to have a lot of sunshine, a few clouds here and there, but also those temperatures back in the 80s today, 50s and 60s this morning as you're walking out the door. Really nice feel outside. Then we hit the afternoon, we'll be there in the low to mid 80s. Now it's slightly warm, that's just above average, average being roughly 80 degrees depending on where you live. But then we hit the next few days. Like I said, a front comes later on after that 5 p.m. hour. It's more like your 8 to overnight, 8 p.m. to overnight. And that's when you can see maybe a passing light shower for at least the far northern zones. Up toward Mason County, Pendleton, Grant County, those areas has the best likelihood. But what it will do is it's going to drive some much cooler air into the forecast. So very nice conditions, guys. We're going to be talking about what's coming up the next few days with those nicer, cooler conditions, how low we go. Also, where's the rain chance in the forecast? Is it off towards your weekend where we get scorching warm? I'm going to show you possibility of reaching 90 degrees later on this weekend coming up.
That will get your attention.
Yeah, it will.
Get ready for that. All right, 6:24 right now. Just a heads up, this next story is a tearjerker. A little girl in Texas breaks down into tears when she realizes that the doll her parents gave her has a prosthetic leg just like hers.
You gotta be kidding me. It's got a leg like me!
That's sweet. 10-year-old Emma was born with a rare birth defect and has worn a prosthetic leg for most of her life. Her parents say she's always wanted a doll that looked just like her. So they bought an American Girl doll and had it specifically modified with a prosthetic limb. The parents hope this video will persuade more doll manufacturers to think of kids with disabilities.
Sweet story.
That is.
It really is.
Now, a lot of people have seen this. Internet fame came full circle for the Chewbacca mom.
Maybe you saw her on the Late Late Show with James Corden, where she got to meet J.J. Abrams, who directed The Force Awakens. They all wore the masks and became happy Chewbaccas. Candace Payne, the mom behind the mask, got to meet the real man behind Chewie, actor Peter Mayhew, in Dallas. And yes, she was excited. No doubt about it. Well, in a Bavarian city, the best athletes compete in quite an odd sport.
It's a kind of finger wrestling with a long tradition in the Alpine countries there. So 2 opponents try to pull the enemy to the other side of the table using only their middle fingers. Interesting, right? Well, long ago, men used to show their strength by finger wrestling to impress women.
Is that impressive to you?
When did it go from the finger, to the arm and then back to the finger?
I don't know. People got more fully involved later, right? Okay. 6:25 on WKYT this morning. Hope you had a great weekend, and it is so good to have you with us here on this Monday, this new week off and rolling.
That's right. When WKYT returns this morning, an interfaith memorial service was held to honor the memory of Muhammad Ali, and we'll have a closer look coming up at 6:30.
All of our top stories are coming up in just a moment. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot, $260 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $123 million. Keep it here on WKYT this morning.